This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1, and I would like to discuss briefly the alleged perversion of Timothy Charles Holmseth. Now, there were some rather odd pictures that were circulated around and are still being circulated around this week regarding two images showing Timothy Holmseth embracing his son in a suggestive manner, and his son was dressed up to be a girl. This is a child that would have been around 10 years old, a child who is now a freshman in high school. It is alleged that the daughter participated. That there's something else that was discovered by someone who enlarged one of the images. There's a woman standing in a doorway in a room adjacent to where the picture was taken. You see a wisp of long flowing blonde hair and a blue printed dress. Who is this woman? Is it the daughter? And if there is a woman standing in the doorway while Tim and the son are posing, who took the picture? Now, there are two scenarios here. Scenario number one is there was somebody else present. Who is this someone? Is it perhaps the male whose clothes are sitting on the floor to one side? Or did Timothy Holmseth put a camera, digital camera, on a tripod, set the digital timer to go off after Tim Holmseth was able to get back to his son and pose in the manner of which he did? Rather intriguing possibility. It's possible. I've used cameras with timers before. Film cameras, digital cameras. You can do it. You can set a camera on a time delay for as long as you need to take to get in position. It's done in family it's done in family portraits all the time. Everybody gets together. The photographer sets up the shot, goes to the camera, makes sure the camera's in focus, everything's set, sets the timer, person goes back, gets him or herself in position, and they sit there and wait for the camera to go poof, and you get your shot. Now, it's rather interesting that instead of someone being behind a camera and it's kind of like a impulse to say, okay, let's take a picture of your father with you in this dress, and click, you do it. It can be, there could be an excuse made. I don't know what kind of excuse you make for something like this, but there could be an excuse. But there's a fairly amount of pre-planning involved, detailed pre-planning, when you decide, okay, I'm going to set up a camera on a tripod. I'm going to dress up my son to look like John Benet Ramsey. I'm going to set the timer on the camera. I'm going to compose the shot so that I can get back in position to kneel down in my pajamas next to my son, embrace him, and wait for the camera to go off. And in the process of doing the composition, I didn't bother to take the clothes on the floor that are men's clothing, with a belt that would appear to be the size of Tim Homestead and the kind of clothes that he would normally wear. As a matter of fact, I think they're the same pants that he's worn in shots where he shows evidence that he claims were stolen from him, and also in a shot where he's sitting at the desk in his office with the poster of Haley Cummings over his shoulder. So it begs the question, who is the woman behind the door and who took the picture? One of those things to kind of ponder about, as we ponder about a lot of things having to do with Timothy Charles Homestead. This is Wayne K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Have a good one.